Welcome everyone to Go Global World. This is the ninth pitch event and the ninth event that impresses me with the amount of people are interested to participate in pitch, and I'm really grateful for everyone for your interest and for your word of mouth to bring great startups, great founders are coming joining here, and great investors are participating every single week. Guys, just imagine this. We already have almost 1,500 people who went through our event as a service repeat, participated, and all kinds of ways were involved for the past few months. This is amazing. I'm really grateful for everyone for that. And because Go Global World is the founder, sponsor, and organizer of this event, I'm going to show you a few slides about what we do. Please keep yourself muted all the time so we don't have any issues and don't have to repeat anything again. Okay, so I'm going to show you a few slides about what we do, and I'll jump right into the presentation of our sharks. Here is Go Global World. What we are doing, we are building digital Silicon Valley ecosystem, full stop. We don't believe that founders need to be right in Silicon Valley to build something great. You can do it from where you are. So we help founders with knowledge of how to start, scale, and grow a company, access to network, and access to opportunity to raise capital, like the event today. For investors, we give access to deal flow and opportunities to meet startups and other investors. So we don't judge by how much money you guys have. We try to help founders with whatever budget you have. So there is free plan, and there is plans for those who are accelerating their fundraising and growth of their company. So on our website, you can select which one fits you. And right now, we have launched a new awesome product that is called GGW Matching App. Well, it's like Tinder, inspired by it, but it's different, very much different. You are recording 1 minute elevator pitch to impress your investors. You don't have to pitch the same thing hundreds of times, and investors will swipe left and right to select the right startups, and you will be selecting your investors. You will have your dashboard where you have your statistics, and where you will be able to find ways to change, improve, and stand out in front of your investors to match with those who like your project and might become your investors, avoiding those who won't. All right? So you just go on this link up, goglobal.world, and I'll share this link in the chat so you can then register and join this app. Now, this pitch event, which one you participate, GGW Sharks, is one of those events where we let you meet investors. We have another event where we screen score startups, unlike in here, where you guys can meet with relevant investors by your criteria, and investors meet relevant startups. That is called Pitch to Global Investors. Only for members, free of charge, and we don't take equity in here, so you really want to help. It's part of our promise to help entrepreneurs. And the other thing is that when you participate in this program, you will meet global investors. This is just a short list of those who would participate in our demo days. And this is a great investors from the US, but in fact, around the world. And before you meet those investors, you would meet these global advisors that would challenge your startups from all angles, identify your weaknesses. And so you would be able to get prepared to meet investors already, so you impress them and don't lose your opportunity to have the best first impression in front of your investors. Now, if you pass this program, you will become our alumni, and you will be on this page. You'll be able to use our logo, and maybe it will help you with further fundraising. We understand that startups need access to resources already now, so we give you access to our global perks. We have direct relationship with all these global companies from around the world. We can help you with cloud, with accounting, with so much more. Just take a look, and it's already part of the subscription. And of course, we understand that you guys need to focus on becoming the best solution for your customers. That's why we take care administrative part of your businesses on our shoulders. And so we can incorporate companies, we take care of your taxes, accounting, and so much more. Take a look. This is specifically for founders, for startup founders. And those who don't know how to pitch or struggle with that, we have a specific video how to prepare a stunning elevator pitch. I hope you like it. You, of course, can challenge me, and I'll be happy to answer your question. But this is how we believe this would be the way to convince investors. So that's it on this part. Welcome to our Sharks event. And this is the 9th pitch event. And please meet our Sharks. Today we will have Duránd F. He'll join a little bit later. He excused himself. Now you can meet Zamir Shukho, Jordan Wahbeh, Stephen Hoffman, who is first time as a Shark on our event, and myself. And I'll let the Sharks introduce themselves in a second. But before that, the rules. The rules are important because we want this to be a super organized event so everyone get a chance to pitch. So please keep yourself muted all the time, except for investors, of course, and raise your hand to pitch. You have 2 minutes to do your elevator pitch, and probably some more questions from the judges, from the Sharks. Your opportunity, this is your opportunity to convince them to get a separate meeting with you. So, dear investors, if you like any of the startups and you want to have separate meeting, just let me know right during the pitch, and I'll make sure I have it on my records to do a direct intro via email. And it's only for new startups with sales. So the criteria here are quite simple, straightforward. You need to have sales or strong IP if you don't have sales. And a scalable business model. We don't expect anyone with just a regular business. It's not that. We are looking for technology companies with scalable business models. Please respect time. It's a 2-hour event maximum. And the GGW members who are subscribed to our platform, they pitch first. And if you don't get a chance to pitch this time, because always too many people are trying to pitch, we will let you pitch next time with the priority. Just email us at info@goglobal.world. And finally, this is a networking event. Exchange your contacts in the chat. Don't sell anything to each other. Try to help. In Silicon Valley, we help first rather than asking for help and trying to sell something. So please help out each other and grow your reputation in front of each other. So that's it for me. And dear judges, dear Sharks, please introduce yourself. And let's start one by one from Zamir and continue with Steve and Jordan.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me. I'm Zamir Shukho, GP and founder of Vibranium VC. We are a venture fund based in Silicon Valley and led by an international team of serial entrepreneurs. Our investment focus is on seed stage B2B SaaS startups, and we aim to identify future champions and support their rapid growth and global expansion. With Vibranium, every startup becomes stronger. I'll send the link to the chat to connect with me on LinkedIn, and good luck everybody who's going to present today.
Thank you, Zamir. Steve.
So I'm Steve Hoffman. My nickname in Silicon Valley is Captain Hoff. I am the captain and CEO of Founderspace. Founderspace is a global startup accelerator. I'm also a venture investor. We have been around for many years. We're one of the older startup accelerators in Silicon Valley. We've worked with hundreds of startups all over the world. I'm very happy to be here today. I'm also author of several books about startups. You might have heard of Make Elephants Fly. That's my big book on startup innovation. And then Surviving a Startup, which is basically everything entrepreneurs need to know to survive. And I have a book on the future of technology called The 5 Forces That Change Everything. So thank you, Danil, for having me as your guest.
Thank you so much for participating, Steve. And by the way, Steve had a webinar with us a year or so ago about how to get funded by venture investors, what they expect. And he gave specific steps what need to be done by startup founders. Amazing webinar. You can watch it on our Go Global World YouTube channel. And these are priceless recommendations. So thank you for that. Jordan, please, your turn.
You're supposed to say on your mute. Go ahead, say it. You're on mute, Jordan.
I was about
to build on you. So good afternoon or good morning, everyone. I'm Jordan Wahbeh with Silicon Valley Venture Group, managing partner of the group. I'm also partner with Network VC, a syndicate VC of 280 LPs worldwide. We invest in companies that improve the human condition. We're not an impact or a social, but the investments we take must have a positive impact on a business, on a village, on a community, on the people who use it. So no TikTok apps, no Mickey Mouse apps, none of that stuff that doesn't add value to humanity. I'm honored to be next to Steve, whom I met a few years back. Even then, he didn't have hair. And I'm even more honored to be with Zamir and his Vibranium, which means strength to the startups. Guys, today is a good day for you. You have a chance to talk to investors. Make it count. If you don't do well, it's not the end of the world. If you do well, you just open the door for yourself. I was part of 2 startups. It is the toughest, the nastiest, the hardest job to do. So we feel you. We see you. We understand. And we are here to support you. Doesn't mean we're going to love you. We're just going to here to support you. So bring it and make it count for yourself.
Sounds exciting. So guys, in order for you to pitch, please raise your hand. There is a button in reactions in here, and we will go one by one based on how you raised your hands. And I will make sure that those who didn't pitch last week will pitch this week, and we will let you pitch right now. So GGW members will go first, and let's speak 1 second. Diana Dammers, please go first.
Wow, thank you so much. Hi, I'm Deanna Dammers. I'm the VP of Investor Relations for Kific Biomedical. Kific is solving a real-world problem in healthcare for remote patient monitoring. Today's RPMs are, checking vitals, temperature, blood pressure, even EKG. But none of the RPMs in the market today are non-invasive medical grade diagnostics utilizing biologic fluid. Kific has developed the first non-invasive remote diagnostic in patient care. And we are utilizing interstitial fluid to do so. This is going to absolutely revolutionize the diagnostic industry. And our wearable device extracts interstitial fluid non-invasively in real time on a continuous basis and provides medical grade laboratory diagnostics. It's like having a lab on your arm. And we're going to start out in the market in CGM, which is continuous glucose monitoring. And then we're going to go to sepsis, which is a huge problem in our world globally. The possibilities for our platform are endless. Our commercialization plan is unique in that we're selling into verticals to large organizations that already have sales forces in place. And our platform can be fitted with hundreds of different biosensors. So we're just starting with those 2. Our first commercial delivery is in the next 18 months. And we've already been in conversations for our first sale of our platform. And we've raised $5 million in our $15 million Series A round. And we're looking for smart money to finish out the round. So jump in, the water's fine.
Fantastic. The water is fine. So judges, please ask your questions. Diana, the first question you might have, you already pitched before, so please make sure to tell us what has been changed since your last pitch. You did it 1 month ago.
So since our last pitch, we have been in further conversations. In the last pitch, I was saying that we were pitching to Apple. We did pitch to Apple, and they are interested and are waiting for us to go through FDA. As soon as we start the process, they showed interest in helping us with the technology piece, so the app piece. And we are, we're chugging away and having some really great conversations. Medtronic is interested. Stryker is interested. We've had conversations with Eurofins, and we have Quest next week.
Right, fantastic. Zamir, Jordan, Steve.
Yeah. So the quick question here is, you have a hardware piece, so it's a wearable with the platform and the software.
Yes, so it's a wearable device, and it's not software, it's an algorithm. But if you're familiar with Abbott Libre, like for continuous glucose monitoring, or Dexcom, it was on the Super Bowl. They had an ad for it. It is a wired sensor, so the sensor actually goes into your arm and into your interstitial fluid. We are doing it completely non-invasively with a frequency. So we're using electroporation. So there is no wire going into
So is
your
this
arm.
for diabetes mostly?
That's for diabetes. Yes, that specific one is. But we can switch out biosensors. Lactate would be for sepsis. And you could use it for electrolytes. You could use it for, and that's where we're kind of talking to Apple for more of your health monitoring. So more consumer based on that side.
Now, do you believe that with, it's a pretty crowded space, right? With all these smart watches and all these other devices that try to monitor your health. I understand these are different sensors, different types. I mean, just the blood pressure and maybe oxygen levels, etc. So you would be probably fighting for the other wrist, right? Not the wrist where the watch is at, but the other one.
No, because what we're doing is for CGM, we're going after Medtronic because they used to be number one. Now they're number three. Abbott and Dexcom are crushing them. So we would go to a Medtronic and say, here, take this platform. They already have market. They already have a piece of the market. This would just be, that would be under the Medtronic name. It wouldn't be under our
Have you had conversations? Do you have an LOI with them already in place?
We've already had conversations with executive level, and we are looking for our third conversation with them. Everybody wants us to do clinical trials, but it's put up or shut up, right? So we're looking to do it in an earn-out where they would pay $5 to $10 million up front. We would do the clinical trials with them and then go to the FDA.
All right. Steve, your mic is off. No problem.
I have a question. Could you go into more detail on your team's background?
Our team is our CEO, our COO, and our chief commercialization officer are all from Medtronic or Boston Scientific. So they have device experience. Our CEO has been through, sorry, I'm falling off my chair. Our CEO has experience in the startup world. He's had a couple of other startups, one of which went public end of last year. And we have a great deal of experience in this space.
And where are you based? In Silicon Valley?
So unfortunately, no. I'm in New York. Everybody's remote, but our headquarters is in Rhode Island. Our manufacturing will be done in the Boston area through manufacturers that are already working with Abbott and Medtronic. So they have a great deal of experience as well.
And can you lay out the competitive landscape?
Sure. Abbott Libre, Dexcom, obviously Medtronic, which would be a competitor. Those are all for wired CGM products. There is status quo for sepsis in that, they're monitoring they're taking your blood and having to send it out for an assay. There is nothing really that monitors your lactates, zero. So for those specific things, I shared the competition. When you're talking about electrolytes, right now there's sensors that are using light, but the accuracy isn't the same as actually using biologic fluid. And we do it in real time and on a continuous basis.
All right. Okay, if Sharks would be interested, they will let me know. We will continue. We will connect you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that, Diana. And we're moving to the next startup, and that would be the one that didn't pitch last time. Let me see who is this, and that would be Sushil Sharma. Sushil, are you here?
Hi, Daniel. Yeah, let me turn off your camera. Sorry, I was not prepared for it. But yeah,
Oh, I mean, I can let you speak later if you're not prepared.
Yeah,
no,
let's
no
do that.
issue. Let's not waste the time.
Okay.
So yeah, hi. So let me take out. I've written some good content around which.
We don't use slides. You have 2 minutes.
Yeah. So the place where I belong from, like a lot of people don't know about English. But like in our terms, we use a lot of uh, uh, these great terms related to investors and investment people that venture capitalists used. So these entrepreneurs need to know a lot of things that they are not aware of. But we see a lot of people nowadays are coming on internet and using a lot of stuff and try to use this internet of service to reach out a lot of engagement and try to satisfy their dopamine. So, but there is a way to, there is a specific way and use cases to achieve all these things. For that, like we want to we are creating a platform. It's in very early stage MVP. We are trying out releasing content on it. So for that, we are looking for, like it's a knowledge-based platform only. For that, we are building to share the what upcoming entrepreneurs are achieving these complications very easily. And out of it, we want to like enable a lot of entrepreneurs in our surrounding, which want to like grow up or like thinking of like enabling it.
Okay. Thank you so much for the questions. I guess you will have a lot of questions in terms of what you really do. Guys, please.
Daniel, remind me of the time we need for Q&A real quick.
Up to 1 minute, ideally,
Thank
but we don't limit investors, because if you guys feel like there's an investment opportunity, you can ask as many as you want.
I am very at early stage. We are just building the MVP. MVP is like very simple. It's a creator platform. I am a programmer by background. So I do all the programming. My other co-founder is my friend. He do the designing stuff. So out of it, we are building out and reaching out to initial users to onboard with us.
Okay. So have you done any customer development to verify, that the problem you're trying to solve is, an existing problem and that's the solution they need?
Yeah. There are several platforms that exist. Like you can say Product Hunt is a good example. In that way, like where people can show off their product knowledge. It's a good positive way you are impacting the society. A lot of people are doing same thing again and again. So it's like very easy also. You can, in a small area, you can, with your products, you can achieve a lot of things. And you can create a sustainable business out of it. For that, it's we are talking with people. I have some contacts around me, but we are figuring out what kind of audience we have to focus in it. So we have already launched it. It's already public to everyone. But slowly we're gonna grow it.
Okay. Are there more questions? I guess no more questions. Thank you so much for your pitch. We're moving on for the next. Appreciate your time, and please stay to the end.
Thanks.
And network in the chat. And the next founder is Kunche Kalani, if I pronounce your name correctly. Sorry if not.
Hi. Yes, absolutely. It's Kunche Kalyani. And hello, everyone. I'm founder of Amram.ai. Now, Amram is a B2B SaaS platform which offers solution to fashion designers, and it is meant for fashion and textile industry. My background is I'm a designer myself, and I worked in this space for 24 years. And I did help for 13 years. I was heading a design studio and helped many brands in US and Europe source designs out of India. Now that's how I recognized the problem of wastage in the process. So there are few things that I want to talk about as problem. The first thing is the t-shirt or the shirt that you're wearing, we design a year ahead. And second is that's a pretty long cycle for any company to have. And that's where a lot of time gets wasted. And with Ambram, we want to shorten that cycle. The second thing that happens is there are multiple sourcings that people are doing. So again, there's a huge wastage. So say the t-shirt or the shirt that you're wearing, there might be submissions coming from somewhere around 8 to 9 factories from different countries globally, say to H&M or to say even Zara. So how can we minimize that? The problem here is the data is scattered. Now, why the data is scattered is because our design files are huge, they're heavy. And in your email IDs or your official emails, you can't send more beyond 5 or 10, 15 MB, attachments. And that's where the real problem starts for designers, where the files are 20 MB or even up, even the videos are even higher. And they go to places like WeTransfer, Google Drive, OneDrive links, and that's why the data gets scattered for them and also for the company. So Ambram wants to streamline that and make sure that the data remains in one place.
Please wrap it up. You have 20 seconds more. Please wrap it up.
I got it. So this is exactly where Ambram comes in, where we will change the way the traditional design process works with Ambram. The second is we are making sure the data is accessible and is automated, so that they can actually use AI and our algorithms to give them the right recommendations. The third is we are making the process efficient for companies to source their design out of different countries, and eventually reducing the carbon footprint. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Right in time. Cool.
Thank you.
All right. So, are there any questions?
I just want to clarify, this is a solution to help transfer the digital assets for the designers and the people who take it to the end of the line. Is that what this is?
Yes, this is it is a collaboration platform. It's a design asset platform. You're correct, but it's not to the customer, but we are doing internally. So we are talking. So that's what I said. The t-shirt that you wear, it takes a year. And for that 1 year, we are working internally a lot with our all internal teams within the company and the external teams where the company is outsourcing this design to either Vietnam, India, Bangladesh, China. So they're also doing a continuous communication.
Thank you, ma'am. So how is that different from the multitude of digital platforms for collaboration, working together, and so forth? What's the key differentiator?
Exactly. Thank you for asking. We are constantly, now that I've released the MVP, constantly being judged against Monday.com and Slack. But we have an IP that's called Ambram Wall. And since I'm a designer, I understand how designers would like to see the work, would like to have the information. So that wall is designed specifically for our industry. And I don't think so. No one has that. That's the differentiator.
What sort of traction do you have?
At this point, yes, we have launched this last week, and I've been working on this for a year. So this has been tested by almost 15 to 20 designers. I have done extensive research, customer-based research, more than I think 70 or 80. We were also a part of NSFI Crop Bay Area, from the Bay Area. So they had helped us in taking the customer feedback and how to go about it in that incubation. So and now we are talking to 4 very big customers in India, and we will be pitching to colleges in US. We have identified a person who will be working as a sales representative in US.
Great, thank you.
So we are looking at colleges and
Thank you very much.
What would the business model look like for the service? Is it SaaS subscription?
It's a B2B, it's a B2B SaaS. So we have 4 models. One is individual, where we're giving them free. The second is basic, where they'll be paying $75 to create 25 teams and work. There are certain criteria for that, of course. And then we have $99, $199, and the last is enterprise. So enterprise, the difference with enterprise is others is enterprise will get a separate portal to manage. The ID team will get separate portal to manage the teams. So it's beyond 100 people and all.
Thank you so much. So this would be something interesting to us as a fund, but in a little bit later stage, when you have at least basic traction, basic sales. like $20,000 a month and above. So put a note that once you have traction, come back to Vibranium. We'll take a look at you guys.
All right. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Same here.
If Vibranium decides to ask us to connect you with you, so we will also do an email introduction.
Thank you.
Thank you. And at this same time, I'm looking forward to go to market, because I know, because I work with US, the customer base in US is much stronger than India.
All right, thank you so much. Let's move on. Appreciate the time, and we need to let others speak. And the next startup will be Arturo Constantin. Arturo, you here? You ready? Hello.
Good day. Hello.
You have 2 minutes. Something happened with your camera.
Okay. Yes. I don't know what, but I don't see anything. All this in black. But I repurify with any kind and flow of wastewater into potable water, drinking water with 0 emissions to air, to soil, to water. 95% efficiency. Low operating costs between another advantages. So I'm looking for 1 million seed capital and 25 millions for an infrastructure wastewater plant, wastewater purification plant in South Africa. Warranty 33 return of investment. What is the twice the average? And we have 20 years with this technology, proven technology. It's okay. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you. So this is another example. Dear judges, correct me if I'm wrong. This is not a scalable model, in my opinion. But if you believe so, please ask your questions.
It's not a venture startup for sure, but I'm just wondering, if this has been 20 years with this technology, what have you guys accomplished so far? Do you have any other purifying stations operating? What is the track record for the technology, or this is something that just came out?
Well, have been installed 14 plants from different sizes and industries. 3 of them has been vandalized, mostly by government. The last one was in 2018, vandalized by the federal government here in Mexico. Right now, I'm prospecting customers outside of Mexico, in South America, and in Africa.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate your pitch. Dear participants, we are looking for startup scalable models. So traditional businesses, this is not probably the place where we really can help. We appreciate your pitches, but I'm not sure we really can help with investment in here for traditional businesses. Thank you so much for your pitch. Appreciate that. And the next person, the next startup is Adib Soshan AI. Are you here, Adib?
Yes, I'm here.
Go for it. 2 minutes.
Should I start?
Oh, thanks.
All right. So just like a while before, we have heard about a shark going like all a year to reach to you, but the same way, you see, every bit of data, it can be a social media comment, it can be a call recording, everything, every bit of data, for it to directly make its way into your system, it takes around 30 to 60 days. And based on the tolerance and the trend settings of current age, like where every few hours the customers like behavior changes a little. So what our technology does, Social AI does, is we have a B2B SaaS platform that directly collects the most unstructured data. It can be anything from a social media comment to a call recording to structured data like financial sheets and everything, and it interprets it and directly automates any other function that one directly connects it to. So, for example, with every Facebook comment, your is extracted directly from the source and is visualized directly at your dashboard. And not only that, it interprets the whole thing and gives you a report of actionable intelligence. So how this actually works is our AI directly does the social listening, and after that, it divides things based on sentiments, topics, and every other way you can put unstructured data into a more structured place. So we are 2x exited founders and have generated $1 million in revenue. And currently we're raising $2.4 million for 16%. And with this, we're creating a general AI that can work with any industry and structure and ultimately create an interpreted report out of any data types. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
So where are you guys located?
We like very recently we have moved in as a Delaware C Corp, but our operations, most of our operation is still happening from Bangladesh. And one of the reasons for doing that is like we have a little bit more affordable talent back in there, and we have like our research and developments happen back there.
So how did you earn the $1 million in revenue? What was it? Consulting work? Was it work for hire? Was it your product? How?
So the thing is, like as I said, B2B SaaS. So that was like the ultimate product, but it has segments like voice of customers, one that takes things from Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and everything. So these are particular fragments that we have also turned into products, and we directly started selling them in the same way, like as cloud software, like as individual softwares of packages. So we sold to some of the best conglomerates. We sold to Marriott, to Uninor, to Walton, and in Bangladesh and abroad. And like we had 100% satisfaction from them.
But those are a different product than what you're pitching now, correct?
No, those are just fragments of the product. So like,
Okay.
So if there are like three main things, one thing automates, one thing informs, and one thing does the quantitative data. So now we are just selling the three different things. But with this fund, what we will be doing is like connecting them, which we can do in a small scale right now, but then it will be put in a larger scale.
So we would be interested to look at the project closer, Daniel. So if you can introduce us to each other via mail, would appreciate that.
Fantastic. The first match with the Shark. I'm really excited about that. All right. Congratulations. Are there more questions to this start?
Yes, sir. What are you looking to raise right now? And how much have you raised, if any, so far?
Like to be very honest, we haven't raised a single penny yet. We just started the fundraising this 14th February. So like we just started reaching out. We are raising $2.4 million in exchange of 16% of equity, and we're offering like the ticket size is starting at like 240,000, and yeah, that fits in the roadmap.
Okay, and what do you hope to achieve from the 2.4 million? Once you secure that funding, what happens to your company?
So like the thing is like our initial target was to like go all in by first half of 2024, and I think that can still happen. And this is actually a hyper growth startup, so like I'm expecting a 2x return, like a 2x earning within the first year of like raising that money, because like this cool tool actually increases the lifetime the customer like value, the amount that you gain every year, and the annual recurring revenues and everything a lot. So I'm expecting a 2x return within the first year.
Thank you. I will not ask questions, but if Vibranium likes you and he says value in you, he knows where to find me. Right, Vibranium?
Of course. We do all the due diligence, and you'll just jump in.
Get the check. We'll give you the check.
All right. So there is already negotiations happening in here. So it seems like a great opportunity. All right. Thank you.
Good. But just a comment. You come from a very interesting space and place in the world. So what you're accomplishing is very admirable. Congratulations.
Thank you. And this opportunity by itself has been very pleasant for me as well, even in the last time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and please spread the word about Global World in your network. Thank you. We're moving forward to the next founder, Sergey Ignatiev. Are you here? Are you ready?
Yeah. Hi.
Minutes.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Sergey from Bobsla. We deliver electric motion on snow. Like Tesla on road, bobsleigh on snow does not pollute. And not only. Snowmobiling is great fun, but very pollutive and dangerous. Electrification is hard and expensive. You can buy only few electric vehicles for snow, including bobsleigh. 4 years ago, we invented to combine plastic body with electrically propelled caterpillars. Invented and patented in US, Canada, Europe, as nobody did it before. We invented and started selling to ski resorts, not B2C, but B2B. And we started sales in Austria and Switzerland. And then Corona came. It was a terrible time for us, but we survived and went further. We assembled our vehicles in Tyrol with companies from 20 suppliers. Our main focus is engineering of our vehicles. Sales reached $300,000. Gross margin is small, just 30%, but already positive with small sales. We look for 600,000 in safe agreement in exchange of 20% of the company, or even better, partly equity, partly debt. And then we look for inventory and expanding team. For that, we will deliver 1 million in sales, and then we will do next financing round to reach 25 million in sales. The market is 2 billion only, but combustion engine vehicles are prohibited in Alps totally. So in most national parks in US it's prohibited. So it will be changed. And our technology will make it possible changes. And anyway, whether you're investing or not, welcome to bobsleigh, welcome to our electric motion on snow.
Love it. Fantastic. Thank you.
Any questions?
Yeah, good.
Yes,
good pitch. Yeah, go ahead.
After you, sir. After you, please.
Okay. So this is not our focus because we invest in IT, but you know, the trend is there. I'm pretty excited about the EV and all the transportation changing and the new laws. I'm sure you've heard about Europeans, you know, taking really aggressive steps towards, you know, removing all the common engines. Now, quick question: which part of this snowmobile is your IP? What have you created yourself, and what do you buy elsewhere to put this whole thing together?
Actually, nobody did it before because all tracked vehicles stand on caterpillars. Our vehicle is stand on sliding body, and caterpillars propel it to push it. Because of that, we spend less energy, and that's what we patented. And because of that, it's also possible to have less energy to drive. It's also can drift. It's amazing in drift.
So the battery and all the rest you purchase elsewhere, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So we make only assembling. Like, by the way, like all vehicle manufacturers do. Yeah, they buy all components from everywhere and then assemble, make marketing and sell. So we do the same, like BMW or somebody else.
And where are you based?
In Innsbruck. It's perfect place for winter sport. It's
where is that, sir?
Innsbruck, Austria, Tyrol.
Austria. Got it. In Austria. Check. Got it.
Yeah. It's
and how many
between Germany and Italy? Yeah. And
it's good. It's good. Go ahead. Let Steve ask his question, please.
And how many have you sold of these?
Okay, we sold 16 pieces. Yeah. And now we have portfolio of orders of 26 just in past 2 weeks, because actually in 2021 we almost broke, yeah, because the corona and all that shit, and now we survived it, and we improved during corona time. We had some time to better develop our trucks and so on and so forth. So that's what we do.
Great.
Just a couple of feedback points. The market size doesn't seem to be substantial to me. This looks like a luxury or a sports vehicle. It's not going to be a daily utility of the product. So how big is the market? I'm not sure, and you don't have to speak to it, but just think about that. Also, where you're taking this, is the venture capital right space to invest in, or you want to look at a corporate VC with the right infrastructure to do this? Last but not least, Zamir had a cool question, which is, where is the IP coming from? So if you're just an assembly organization, that's one thing, but if you have some intellectual property in the design and what have you, that makes you far more investable. And
we have patent pending because nobody did it before, and because of that, we have some patent in pending in US and Canada and in European Union.
Got it. What is your typical market size? Are we looking at hundreds of billions, or a few billions, or a few hundred million?
It's 2 billions now. Yeah, it's still growing. And it will be changed because now you cannot use combustion engine snowmobiles, national parks, in Alps, everywhere, in many different places. Yeah, so and that's very restriction. And when this restriction disappear, it will be not 2 billion, but maybe 20 billion. Yeah. But now it's 2 billion. It's already in sale, and if we reach in 2-3 years, like 10% of that, is already not so bad.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Let's move on to the next speaker.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sergey.
Thank you.
The next one is Richard Bach. Richard, are you here?
I am.
All right. You have 2 minutes. Please go for it.
Yeah. I'm chairman of a company called Mica Energies Corporation. And we've proven it's a pre-revenue, early stage technology company. We've proven our ability to pull energy out of the air. We've driven hundreds of miles with sophisticated meters to measure the level of energy in the air. And there's adequate ambient energy everywhere in the mountains and forests, on the plains, on the beaches, what have you. Our plan, we're looking for 1.2 million to finish up technology and develop the Mica chip, which will be used to charge cell phones, laptops, tablets, game consoles, what have you. To do that wirelessly, 24/7, anywhere in the world, regardless of the user's location. And our research shows that 92% of adults want to have this technology, that they are tired of wires and cables and USB ports and what have you. There's 6.8 billion people in the world that have smartphones. The average person has 3.3 devices. And we, with a very small share of market, can generate a great amount of revenue by licensing this technology and the app. We've already been contacted by a major smartphone manufacturer and a government agency.
Yeah, Richard, could you please wrap it up, your past time?
Yeah, so anyway, phase 2 is charging EV batteries, and we've been contacted by a $4 billion trucking company wanting us to do that for them. That's pretty much it.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions to Richard?
I do, but I'm afraid to ask.
Don't be afraid.
Richard, I am sincerely asking the following question because I'm not trying to be anything cute. You're saying you have a device that's going to pull energy out of the air and charge and power electronic devices. Is that right, sir?
Correct.
Okay, so the smart allocator mark is, this sounds like a Star Trek innovation. The real question is, if you have such a device, why are you here? Why aren't you talking to the big players with hundreds of millions of dollars to launch this into the stratosphere? And the last one is, who does not want this? 8% don't want this, so that's kind of silly. So why are you here and you're not talking to the big players to raise the money to do this?
Well, we only need $1.2 million to finish up the technology. Our plan is to have a demo in Dallas with the chip charging a smartphone and a desktop computer. And that from there, anything is possible. So the market is huge. We don't need that much to get there.
So this seems too good to be true. What's your background? Where do you come from in developing this?
Well, the CEO is the scientist. He's got a physics background. We've got a team that represents about 200 years of technology experience. My background happens to be on the business end of things and marketing, advertising, new products. So I'm complementing the organization from that side of the table.
All right, thank you very much.
What does the $1.5 million get me as an investor? What happens on the other side of the spend?
Where does $1.2 million get you as an investor?
Yeah, I'm not looking at what you're going to invest in. What's the state of the product, of the revenue, of the IP, of the staffing once you spend $1.5 million?
It's pre-revenue. We're looking at revenues in year 2 from licensing the chip and the app. And I see no reason why this couldn't be a $1 billion corporation in 5 years.
$1.5 million. Richard, where are you located, sir?
Where are they located?
Yeah, the company.
The company is currently headquartered in Irvine, California.
Got it.
I am in Dallas, Texas.
I am super curious. I want to talk to you.
Okay.
Wow, second match. Congratulations.
Listen, if he can pull energy out of the air, I definitely want to talk to this guy.
Okay, good.
All right, thank you so much, Richard. Congratulations, and we're moving forward with the next person.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, sir. And we're moving forward with Marcus. Marcus, you ready?
I'm ready. I'm here. Can you see me?
Yes, 2 minutes, please.
Okay, perfect. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Marcus from the UK. Just a quick question. How many of us have got problems? How many of us are troubled from day-to-day issues? It affects our sleep. It affects our life. It affects work. As a HR manager, for example, or a company director, how many of your employees bring their problems to work? It affects productivity, morale, absence days. Well, Troubled, the new app, is here. Troubled is a social networking community where people can post their problems. Problems are posted and they are moderated before they go live. Users can then reply once to each problem to give advice or to take things further and message, and then go on to direct message to discuss even more. You can follow users, you can like problems, like comments and replies, and we've just literally launched now in the app stores with the beta version. We're growing organically and we're looking for funding to take it to the next level. The next level will be to increase the key hires in the team, and it will be to continue development for audio and video and eventually turn it into a marketplace. I'm Marcus from Troubled, and that's it. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
So, yeah, I have a.
Yeah, go ahead, Zamir, please.
So the question is, if you're just building like another social network where people share problems. I mean, this is just like everything else out there, forums, numerous chats, Facebook groups. That's just the mechanics of it, right? People come with a question, with the problem, and then they receive a bunch of comments. Now, do you have any kind of, professionals on that platform?
No, and was because a lot of people nowadays, especially since COVID, with the increase in mental health and everything else, a lot of people don't want to be associated with professionals or be judged or labeled. They want to relate to people who are experiencing or experience the same situation as them.
Okay, how you plan to monetize this?
We're going to be doing in-app advertising once we get to a certain number of users, and because mainly in tier 1 countries, with the engagement level and page views we're going to be seeing, is going to be quite high per user. And then after that, we will be incorporating a marketplace.
All right. Are there more questions?
Yes. What's the science behind all of this? Because now the business have moved into science and AI, and you know what I'm saying. So tell me.
Okay. The problems themselves are moderated by people before they're put live. First of all, so that there's nothing too graphic. There's diversity and inclusion. There's one reply or comment per user, and then direct messaging, which is completely up to the users what they put. As we move forward, because we're here in the UK, we've already done a free accelerator, or we're doing it now, which is backed by the UK government and the European Regional Development Fund, which will stand us in good stead to get grants, which we only have to put in the 30% to their 70 of up to 2 million initially, which will go forwards for AI development to incorporate that.
So you and I are going to have to tango. You didn't give me an answer. You gave me all this other stuff about this and that and the other, and God is going to bless us and all that, but you didn't give me the science. What's the science behind this?
Okay, the science is people don't want professionals. They don't want calculated answers. They want to hear real life experiences that they can relate to and that have experienced it.
Okay. So is it like a Facebook group where I can have people who would kind of help me cry on their shoulders, or what?
It can be if that's what you want. The good thing about it is it's quite anonymous. You only have to put your first name. If you want to put your gender, you can. If you want to put your country, you can. So people can be anonymous behind the message.
Thank you for your time, sir.
No, thank you.
Thank you so much. And we're moving to the next person. And that is Dana Small. Dana, are you ready?
Hi, nice to meet you guys. My name is Dana Small. I am the CEO and founder of Small World. Just a little bit more about me. I'm a creative that was born in Brooklyn, raised in West Palm Beach, Florida. I studied business in college with a concentration in marketing. And when I was in college, I was paying for it myself by waitressing and bartending and scholarships. And when I was a bartender, I got scouted by one of the biggest modeling agencies in New York City called MMG. And so ever since, I kind of just melded my marketing experience with my modeling experience, and I got into social media. So that's how my company was born. Ever since, what we've done is I was the Black Ambition Prize runner-up in 2022. That's Pharrell's pitch competition that he does every year. I got 5K in AWS credits, so that was pretty cool. We primarily work with small businesses and startups, so I've been able to get small businesses upwards of 200K monthly viewers for their businesses using social media. I recently bagged my first Fortune 500 company. I got Discover over the holiday, which was pretty cool. I got them 8.6 million views in 2 days. So that's what I've done. And so where I'm going, I used to be an executive assistant for a cryptocurrency and blockchain company based in Jersey City. And I worked with them for about 6 months. I met the founder of the company at a modeling event in New York for New York Fashion Week. And ever since, we kind of just knocked it off. So I was his executive assistant for the past 6 months. But then we had Web3 winter happen. So I stopped working for him on February 1st, which is kind of like a blessing in disguise. Cool. So ever since I've just been applying to a bunch of different, I'm sorry?
Time check.
Time check.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Dana,
I'll start. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it sounds like you have a good services business for social media marketing, but what technology do you have? Do you have any sort of platform that you've built out that can actually be scalable? Because we're venture investors, so we need something that can grow very rapidly.
So basically, I would run instead of like a modeling agency, we're kind of like a social media management agency. So we're kind of like a modeling agency, but for creators and models.
Yeah, agencies aren't something venture investors typically invest in.
But let me give a short comment, understanding what kind of business you do, Dana. By the way, impressive journey. Congratulations on that. And right now, there's a lot of different types of AI tools that are coming out, and I would say that to give you guys, an advantage towards your competitors, it would be probably good to start using some of those AI tools and see how you can put them together in a product.
We don't really use like for my business, we use, like when you were mentioning the platforms, we already use the pre-established platforms. So I specialize in like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Reddit, things like that. So we use that in order for small businesses to expand their reach on the internet using SEO and different trends and things like that. So
think about productizing what you do. That's what Steve was trying to say.
Yes.
If you're just working as an agency, basically providing service, that's not a venture type of a business. I mean, this is a small business. It will feed you. You can grow. That's fine. But if you want to raise money from venture investors, you gotta try to productize what you're doing and automate it. Put it in a digital form. Like, how can you substitute yourself and your employees, your managers, with a technology that would do the same?
So we're not a product company, we're a services company. And I'm not primarily looking for a VC. I kind of got cut off before I got to mention that. I'm primarily looking for an angel investor. I'm looking for about 338,886. Last time I presented, it was like a month ago, and you guys told me to work on my numbers. So I came back with that. That would basically just cover like my working capital and a Section 179C vehicle. I'm based in New York City, so I work with different small businesses all over America, but that would just kind of help everything run a little bit smoother.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. We're moving forward, and thank you for pitching here. I just have to repeat again our priorities. So we are looking for scalable models, scalable business models. If you pitched and you had turned out not to be a startup, okay, that's fine. We'll give you feedback. But guys, it's important that you are meeting our criteria. So sales, IPs, and a scalable model is important. This is how we are targeting startups right now. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. And the next person will be, let me see, that will be Ryan Giradot. Ryan, you ready?
I am ready. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for the time. My name is Ryan Gerardo. I am the co-founder and the CEO of Cerebro Sports. We're an early stage sports technology company that's building basketball's global hub, leveraging statistics into the best player career resumes in the world, spanning all the way from the youth levels all the way up to the pros. We're solving the painful, costly issue of meritocracy and visibility in the sports world for players, both players and decision makers globally, as well as all the stakeholders that come in around them. Right now, misrecruiting is costing programs and teams tens of millions of dollars, and it costs players opportunities for money and for education. At the moment, college and pro teams are using an antiquated system to essentially guess on who they're recruiting. Players are guessing how good they are and ultimately what level they should be playing at. Even fans are guessing where they're going to lay down tonight's wager, right? So we need a central unified standard, and that's what Cerebro is. Not having all the information to make decisions, as I mentioned, is super costly. We actually approached Mark Cuban about this exact issue, pointing out that we had already aggregated data that the Mavericks did not have at the time that they drafted a certain player. And Cuban became a 10% owner of our company after that. I'll point out that one key element to what we do is a flywheel that helps to keep the ecosystem moving. Players are incentivized to make sure the data is in, recruiters are able to sort and find players, and then of course that visibility is what ultimately brings more players to the table. We're currently raising a bridge round, and I'd be excited to tell you guys more to the extent that you're interested. Thank you.
Fantastic. So seems like you are approached one shark and the other sharks. Are you ready to jump in?
Let's jump in, sharks. Let's do it.
What's your current traction? I mean, how many customers you have? What's your revenues for 2022? How fast you're growing?
Yeah. So we're a couple years into this. The first thing that we did was realize that the space is a competitive pyramid, and it's ultimately driven by those players at the very top. So our focus was not on charging them a ton of money. Instead, we have about 50 paying clients. These are going to be NBA teams, colleges, agencies, USA basketball, US men's Olympic team is using our data to make decisions. We charge them about $1,000 in our first year. So that got us to about 50K in revenue. Of course, not substantial, but we've already for this year anywhere between like 3 and 20x that. So we're projected to do a few 100K in revenue this year, relatively conservatively. We'll also launch our first player monetization models this upcoming spring.
All right. So
how long ago did Mark Cuban, and did he invest or did you give him shares? So he invested.
No.
And
yes, 200K.
Okay, 200K. And when was that?
That was closed in September.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
So it sounds like you've got something there. I'd definitely like to see more. This is interesting.
Very cool. Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, I would look at it as well, you know, because it looks like something that could fit our criteria as well.
So, amazing.
2 sharks are in. Jordan, are you?
No, Zamir wants to meet Mark Cuban. That's all he's trying to do. I'm good. He'll tell me about it.
We met.
Okay. It's not my space, but thank you for asking, sir.
No problem. No problem. Thank you guys for the time.
And we have also the other investor, Duránd, who just recently joined. Duránd, what's your take?
Yeah, so I had to pull over in a car. Super busy day, but this company, it interests me. So can you speak a little bit about Cerebrals? Where do you sit in the actual ecosystem? Because I know like now with high school sports is really huge. You have overtime there. They are basically a scouting, a scouting platform for the NBA. I really want to understand your technology use case. What's the actual platform, and where do you sit in the ecosystem where this is recurring? Because if you give the Mavericks this particular information and they get a LeBron James, granted they may utilize the platform again, but LeBron James is going to probably hold them over for the next 15 years. Mm-hmm. The lifespan of these particular players when they get the superstars it's kind of a Pareto's principle. Mm-hmm. Like what Kobe did for the NBA and for the Lakers, they didn't need another Kobe for another like 13 years. So how does your technology fit into that ecosystem? And then I have a follow-on question.
For sure. So the quick answer is this is a global ecosystem, and we're telling the quantitative half of the story. What we're doing, you sound like you're pretty knowledgeable about basketball. So you know that the way that this works is we're trying to scale like these naked eye scouts going out to cover every single game everywhere, and that's pretty much impossible. What we know is that the box score can be at every game everywhere. So we're aggregating data from the synergies, from the huddles, from the sport radars, from the stats. They give us their box scores. We turn around and give them traffic back for the video content that they have. When you talk about the ecosystem, and I mentioned that this flywheel is sort of between the players and the recruiters is what drives this. The players want to be seen. They force the event organizers to submit their video to us. We turn around and send that video to a huddle or an instat or a synergy. They turn the box scores back to us, put that into the database that all the recruiters can use. And sure, we talk about NBA teams, who, by the way, they need more than LeBron. They need the Dorian Finney-Smiths of the world too, right? And this can help you discover those players on the margins. But also think about college programs. Think about D2s. Think about D3s. Think about kids getting out of situations that they deserve to be getting out of. We're helping to connect those dots. Or you can think about European teams. And then the last thing I'll say is, if a tool, just like if KDs are good enough for KD to wear, they're good enough for me to wear, and I'll spend $200 to put to cop them, right? But our thought is that by making our technology is centered around a platform that allows you to run these searches and view these player resumes, rate players as gold, silver, bronze within all of these competitions they play in, and the desire to be rated helps to drive and be visible, helps to drive players to want to be on there in events. And then fans, now or media, I can go get a straight read on how good a player is, how their career has arced. We think it's the starting place for the entire sports experience. And so, I mean, you mentioned overtime will eat their paying client of ours. Yeah, we help provide players everywhere visibility.
Please shorten your answer.
Yeah. So I'm interested in this. I have two follow-on questions. Let's just do like fireside, so you can be really, really quick. Now, help me understand the revenue model. Like this sounds like a SaaS, but then on one end of the spectrum, you sound as if you have a consumer opportunity where there can be some form of outdoor advertising with you partnering with Overtime. Like, what's your primary revenue source? Is it you're going to build out a SaaS platform where you can get this data on an ongoing basis? Or is it more on the enterprise solution side where you have to customize it for each client? Quick answer.
Yeah, it's a platform, a subscription model for each of those stakeholders. There's also an API for enterprise, but it's primarily a platform for ecosystem.
Got it. All right. So now, as far as the investment from Mark Cuban, was it a soft investment whereby he's like, hey, $200,000 is probably what I'm going to spend on dinner over the next few weeks. I like it enough to like be here with you. Or was it an investment whereby he's going to be an advocate for other partners for you?
Google us. You'll see. We got quotes. We got the full nine.
Go figure it out. Basically says you're on your own. Go figure it out, man.
Hey, man, listen. You know what? I have pitched investors, and they've asked this question, and I normally just send links back, and that's what moves the needle the most, honestly. Like, I think a lot of people make these claims and
no. So the question exists because if I'm thinking about it and I say, okay, Mark Cuban's on the cap table. If I were to buy like a chunk of 10%, like how do you get to the next round whereby my investment can be materialized? And then it makes me wonder, why are you even here? I mean, you have Mark Cuban. It's not just a billionaire. It's a very provocative billionaire. It owns a team. That would have been the ideal partner. The seed investment you would have received, from just a random person that's not Mark Cuban. The goal would have been to get you to Mark Cuban. You've already figured that out. So I'm wondering, what do you actually need from this particular panel? This would be my last question, by the way. What would you actually need from this particular panel that you haven't been able to receive from Mr. Cuban himself?
So we're raising a bridge round right now. Cuban participated in our earlier pre-seed, and we're looking towards a seed that'll be coming up. And we expect to go raise that with VCs, everything be fine. But the reason I'm here today and the reason we're raising this bridge round in general is we have revenue objectives that we want to go knock down this year. Like I said, we're we're increasing our revenue several times over the course of this year. We know in a bad fundraising environment to go raise a seed round, we're going to be judged on the fundamentals of the business, and we want to extend our runway and expand our cash to make sure we're in a good position to land softly.
Got it. So you want to protect Mark's investment by not going to him, ask him for capital again, whereby you can utilize, you want to leverage what you've already got from him to get to revenues and then show some traction. Okay, cool. I like it. I want to talk to you offline.
I will connect you guys. We will connect you with selected investors. Right. Thank you so much. Great pitch and exciting conversation. And the next person will be pitching Ann Shin. Ann, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Do you see me now?
Yes, you have 2 minutes. Please go for it.
Okay. All right. So, hi. My name is Dr. Ann Shin. I'm the CMO of 3blocks.io. We have 3 co-founders and 1 person on the team, which is myself. Our headquarters is in Tampa, and we were founded in October of 2022, so just 4 months ago. So the market we're focusing on is the 220 trillion illiquid real estate market globally. And what 3blocks.io do, we're the seller of digital real estate. In 2022, that was last year alone, tokenized real estate plus metaverse parcels were worth 55 billion in trading volumes on hundreds of different platforms. So the problem is that, but there's no aggregated marketplace or data for investors to go to, because there's so many platforms. You don't know what one platform you can go to extract, to have all the data and all the parcels available. So 3blocks, we're a cutting edge platform that aggregates and analyzes data for tokenized real estate and metaverse parcels. We also offer customers a seamless experience for selling, buying, renting, and financing with transparency. So to date, we have raised 400K for 3 real estate parcels on board on our tokenization platform. And we already sold 50,000 worth of real estate NFTs. And we will be selling an additional 600K in the coming months. So what is our competitive edge? So far, as far as we know, we're the only one doing aggregation of digital real estate. And we're the only one that has experience in both real estate and blockchain against our potential competitors, who could be Zillow, CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, or Realtor.com. And however, even though they could be potential competitors, we could at the same time be acquired by our potential competitors.
And please wrap it up, your past time.
Okay, so this is the best time to invest in 3blocks because our timings is the same as Coinbase, for instance, is early adopter for 1.4 trillion market size, according to More Global in 5 years. We're asking 780K using safe offering with 20% discount with a 18 months runway.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anne. Daniel, I must insist, we have to treat people fairly. This running overtime isn't going to work. And didn't you guys pitch 3 or 4 events ago?
With GGW?
I think so, because I talked to you guys 2 or 3 weeks ago and it came out of one of those events. At any rate, a great model. I've talked to you guys already. There's potential there. Keep it going. Just make the pitch a lot more succinct, a lot less words, and just give us the facts. And thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any more
Yeah,
questions?
so, yeah, hi, Dr. Ann.
Yes,
this is
hi.
Duránd. I agree with Jordan. We talked to the entrepreneurs about this last week. The space that you're in is the space that I'm in, so I'm interested, but I don't quite understand where you fit in the ecosystem. It would serve the purpose successfully for the entrepreneurs, including yourself, especially the ones that are listening that haven't presented, to just really hit us immediately on what you do and how you fit inside of the ecosystem, instead of overemphasizing on the problem. Okay, because we get the basics. You're an entrepreneur. You have an idea. You want to raise funding. We are investors, so we're there. We get that part. So we don't need so much time on the problem, because I got so lost when you start talking about $220 trillion market. Like, okay, that's fine, but that's a way before we get there. and then the problem. This is the problem. This is the problem. So I don't know if you're a blockchain company. If so, I'm interested in your technology. Or if you're an NFT aggregation company, because I didn't quite get there. So if you can really make your pitch a bit more succinct, I am interested in learning more about your business offline. So perhaps Danil will connect us. But if you could just get straight to the point. We build technology on the blockchain. We aggregate NFTs. We make money this way. Here's the problem and why we exist. In fact, I would argue, save the problem for the end. Let me know exactly what your company is and what you do, and then communicate the actual problem. So that would be my advice to you. But I am interested in talking offline.
All right, I will connect you.
So will someone will connect us?
Yes, I will connect you guys. All right.
Okay,
Thank you.
so much.
All right, let's move on. And the next person would be Jean Hamel. Jean, are you here?
I am here, gentlemen. Real quick to the point, we convert shipping containers into homes. We're looking to scale up. Each factory can produce about 4,000 homes a year. We net about 20,000 per. We're in a capital intensive business. We need to buy factories and stuff. We're looking right now at mobile home parks, converting them into more of a modern home park where we use solar, we use high-speed internet, all the basics that we need, solar, all that stuff. We're looking to capital raise $20 million. That's our pitch.
Awesome. Congratulations. Yeah, do you guys have any questions to Gene?
You're raising how much, sir?
20 million.
20 million. And what's the valuation model for investors? How do we go up and up and up?
The valuation
investment
years ago by a small county bank was $1.5 billion. It's going to take us about 18 months to scale up to a factory use 4,000 units. We have to buy the factory and put in that. There's actually 2 sections. We are looking at generating 600 containers a day for the ISO market. We have 5 years of lease out on the table to build everything we can. So the issue we had is there's not enough containers for us to cut and put people in the homes. It takes us 5 days to build a home. It takes us 4 hours to set it on site. So we're just trying to vertically integrate it. You know, some of the issues we have is to buy 20,000 toilets, those type of supply chain issues. So
I have a question.
Yep.
Are you US centric or are you worldwide, or what's your region of operation?
Greenville, South Carolina. We've been operating out in Michigan. I actually live in northern Michigan.
Forgive me. You're focused on the US market only, is that right?
Right now, US market, yes.
Okay.
So there are there are a number of companies out there that are doing this. What makes you so special? Why are you different from the others?
Scalability. We have one company that was listed on NASDAQ. They've gone to wood because they couldn't find enough containers. We actually have talked with them supplying. We really want to become the steel supplier. We want to take those 14-ton coils, roll them off the trucks, and build homes on them. We've been approached. We've got 5,000 hits on our website. I mean, the market's there. The scalability is not. So we want to be all that first person out there to actually build the containers in the U.S. It's all been supply chain issues. There's been some great dealers out there. There's probably a dozen of them. They're hitting their marks. IndyDwell, we showed up with them at the Innovative Housing Showcase in Washington, D.C. when Ben Carson's HUD called us in. They've had to move from the steel to wood. And the issue we see there is we're all seeing the slaughter of the last 18 months of wood prices. So it's just the whole scalability of taking steel, forming it into a home, and the deliverability. We have the capability now of getting away from the constraint of 8 feet to go to 16 feet wide. So that micro commercial where we build the first 2 floors out of steel and use timber above. Plenty of leg room there, enough steel for us.
So Gene, what you're saying, this is a materials play. Somebody with a bit more money can beat you in this game. Is that what I'm hearing?
No one has yet, and we're sort of curious why. We know that people have tried, and the thing that we have spent the time on is getting the state licensing in line, getting all the tax benefits and all those type issues, and working with different counties. We don't understand why someone hasn't done this, but we're going to step in that gap and fill it. If somebody else does get into it, it's a regional basis. You don't want to take a $20,000 pound container and ship it from New York to LA. The cost effectiveness isn't there. So we can come in and do a pop-up container farm very quickly. We can stack 2 containers 20 long and put a roof over it and build in Texas for 6 months on a large project. So,
okay. So
we
Gene,
know what people are looking at. They haven't done it.
It's not my space, but I think I know folks who may be interested in this. If it has a uniqueness, I'm going to give you my information and you can reach out to me.
Well, we're here for the platform. We're here for the back end stuff, for the accounting, all those different stuff, thing, working in multiple states. We need help on that end. We have the science down. We have the robotics. We can produce the homes that people need. They're category 5 rated. We'll do very well on the shorelines. Put solar on them, they can go off grid. So pools.
Gene.
Done.
Gene, you mentioned that you guys are raising $20 million. What's the equity percentage for that?
20%.
Okay, so do us all, I'm sure I probably speak for the Sharks here, explain to us why the business is worth $100 million today.
We build them, they'll buy them. Look what happened in Turkey. We can ship these things worldwide. So the need is there. So scalability is first to market, get them up and running. We've talked with FEMA. We're pretty confident we can get them to pay us to build them, to store them, and deliver them rapidly in case of disasters. So it's, we're looking at what the market is.
Yeah. So just put yourself in my shoes for a second. Theoretically, we price you today at $100 million, so you get $20 million from us GGW Sharks here, and tomorrow you sell the business. You get an offer for $100 million. Your revenues probably doesn't really represent you should get the $100 million. The traction trajectory doesn't represent that, but nevertheless, you were able to sell for $100 million. We get 20% of the $100 million. How much money do we make as investors?
You get 20 back and you make 20. You double your money.
So what I'm attempting to actually get you to understand is you're valuing the business today. Because if we're going to place the valuation on your business, I need to see a pathway of least resistance that's going to get you to $1 billion valuation so that my capital on your next round of funding can materialize in value. And a lot of times when I'm asking entrepreneurs that, the gentleman that spoke earlier, I kind of like how he answered the question of, hey, the money that we raise today is going to get us to X in revenues. It's going to require us to hire X amount of employees. This is going to be the earnings per employee. This is where we're going to be from an intellectual property perspective. We believe that the IP is going to be licensed in this particular capacity, which will allow us to go into another vertical, which is going to cost us X percentage. And here's how we're thinking about that valuation, at which time we're going to then be able to raise another round at this particular percentage. And that's not what I'm hearing. I'm hearing a lot of potential talk. Well, we could do this, we could do that. And I believe you. I have no reason not to believe you, but I'm not understanding the math. I'm not understanding the math as far as the valuation is concerned.
The 20 million gets us 4 mobile home parks that have 800 clear lots for us to build in. So as fast as I can build these out of there, that turns that into $150 million valuation in 18 months. And we have other projects.
Okay, like Jordan said, it's not my space, but I'm interested in learning more so that I can pass it on to some individuals I know that's involved in prop tech and in other areas of real estate for sure. Thanks for your time.
That's why I'm here. I understand everybody has their lanes, and we stay in our. We want to move.
Very much. Let's move on. We have other startups to pitch. We will connect you with Duránd and Jordan via email. All right. Thank you so much for the great pitch. Okay. And the next person will be just let me see, Ilgar Tagiev.
Bless your heart.
Sorry about that.
I love you, man.
Ilgar, are you here? You ready to pitch?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, everyone. I am from Azerbaijan. I am former banker. Now I'm dealing with exporting some goods from Azerbaijan and from various countries. And during my daily job, I realized that it's really tough to find proper trucks for your load. And there are several options. You have to call to broker, which will charge you some commission for this, plus some application, which is also quite costly. So we created a chatbot in Telegram for now. Soon it will be in WhatsApp and iMessage. And we instantly match shippers with truck owners. And it's easy. It's without any registration. Anybody can use it. Actually, if you have one of this text message program software, you can use it as well. So our business model is B2B and B2C. And yes, we started last year. So far, we have 3,000 users as of today. And our main clients are from CIS countries, and we want to expand to Europe and Africa countries. And soon and later, we will go for US market as well, because it's a quite large market due to absence of railway infrastructure. We are looking for 200,000 for against 10% of our equity, and this fund will be used for expansion operations and current operations.
Right on time. Thank you so much. Zamir.
So yeah, I have a question. Now we've seen many startups, using chatbots for different things. What is the technology? Is there any technology behind the chatbot that reroutes these things? That helps prioritize the orders, organize the flow of any kind of information. Is there any interface, for the businesses to look at besides the chatbot, which they can use just to place the orders? What is behind the whole thing?
For now, it's very simple. We see all orders. We analyze actions of our users. But soon, once we will get enough users, we will also involve in price creation of this. For example, if you have exact route, you can get how much, what's the current market price for this that route. So the system will analyze it and will provide the best option as well. For now, it's just simple. We are making matchmaking the best according to the requirements of the shippers. Like if you want a refrigerator or if you want exact volume of refrigerator, we will show you exact tracks which match to your core criteria. And technology, we use JavaScript. If you like, if you want me to go details, but I'm not the IT guy. But
got it. Are there more questions? So we can continue with other startups. So are there any more questions from you guys?
I'm good.
Okay, so no more questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For your pitch, and we're moving forward with the next founder. Florence Aidu, are you here?
Yes, I am here. Good afternoon. I'm Florence, and I'm in the United States, Minnesota. So I am the founder of Bavard Consulting and Management.
You got your microphone off. Can you please?
Sorry about that. So as I said, I'm working on, I'm the founder of Bavard Consulting and Management. You can see it at bavardconsulting.com, but it's a service company, an HR firm, consultant firm, but I'm working on the product. I have an idea of a product in people analytics, which is why I'm here to pitch. So what I'm looking at is to build a platform whereby we can make all HRs, we can sell strategies through people analytics, looking into data and how HR can be data driven. One of the things that I speak on, or one of the things I'm trying to achieve, is to make sure that every employee can be calculated based on the return on investment of their skill set. And looking into that, I'm looking at to build an AI-driven platform in HR tech or big data that would help to achieve this. What I'm looking for is mentorship and, of course, funding.
All right, a great pitch. Dear Sharks, do you have any questions?
I'm good for mentorship, and we can talk funding once we talk. I didn't quite understand what you're doing, but if you want my time, you got it.
Fantastic. So one connection happened.
Thank you.
Other Sharks, do you have any questions or not? Okay. Thank you so much, Florence. Appreciate your pitch, and I will connect you with Duránd, with Jordan afterwards.
Thank you very much.
For your time. And so those who wants to pitch, please raise your hand. We'll give you a chance to pitch. And the next founder is iKinetics, Dennis. Dennis, are you ready?
Hello. Yes. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, you got 2 minutes. Go for it.
Thank you for the invitation. So my name is Denis Ihyarov. I'm co-founder of AI Kinetics. AI Kinetics is a video analytics application for runners and coaches. We provide human motion insights using video, and we provide performance metrics and running form analysis. So primarily the application is right now for treadmill runners. We validated the technology in a biomechanics lab, and we have a pending patent application. We plan to launch in the App Store next month. We have over 200 early adopters and over 1,000 coaches in our database. Also, we have a showcase of the technology with NASA and different medical facilities and sport performance facilities. In terms of the running market, it's over 300 million running app users we would like to target. And we are in the market of between smart treadmills, power meters, motion capture technology, and video platforms. Also, right now, we would like to target a 2-year product timeline, for, primarily with revenue sources from the App Store and technology partners, $10 million revenue each.
Dennis, please wrap it up if you can. You pass that.
Yeah, and we are raising $1 million for 12-month runway. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so Zamir.
So my question would be, what kind of problem you're trying to solve with the technology, and what does the business model look like? Who's going to be paying for this?
Yeah, thank you for the question. So we are targeting regular runners primarily. So there is, like I mentioned, over 300 million users of running apps. In terms of the first beachhead market, we primarily target triathlon athletes.
Yes. So what does the technology do? So how does it look? So I put my phone and then I start running on a treadmill, and it analyzes how I run, and it gives me what?
Yeah, good question. So all you need is the smartphone camera. You install it on tripod. We extract the motion metrics and provide analysis. We can estimate the performance of runner, and this is good application for coaches and runners. We can estimate the metrics of your motion and provide feedback. This is also good for example, for running stores.
So let me ask you a quick question. Now the coaches that are training these runners, like for the triathlon, they cannot evaluate their running without the app. Like, why would they need a technology? If they're physically there, right there, training that person.
Yeah, so a really good question. So what we do is we can extract the metrics based on biomechanics. So we have a patent pending technology, and we can tell your running performance. It's a metric that we developed in the lab and validated.
Yeah, I hear that, but my question is, do coaches that I'm assuming are the ones who would be paying for this really believe that there is a problem like that, and they're desperate for a technical solution for this problem? Because if they're not very desperate for the technical solution, it's going to be very hard to sell.
Yeah, so right now there is a huge development in something called running power. So even Apple Watch released it recently. We have our own approach, which is based on biomechanics, and it's validated with 10 athletes, 360 conditions.
So my suggestion would be here, sorry to take all the time from the rest of the judges, but my suggestion would be definitely conduct like a customer development interviews with at least 100 coaches, okay? Make sure that what you're trying to solve is an existing problem for them, and they would be happy, when your product comes to market, and they'll be like, hey, just shut up, take my money. Just give this to me as soon as you can. Because if you don't get these answers, if they are not desperate for your technology, then it's going to be a hard push sell. You're going to try to push that technology onto the market, and that, rarely works out.
So, yeah, besides that, I just want to mention regular users will also benefit just extracting the metrics of runner. There is
benefiting is great
right now.
Look, benefiting is great. It's the question of whether they will pay for it, and where the amount of the money they're willing to pay for it is going to make sense in your financial model, eventually.
So the alternative right now is they need to buy some wearables, and they are expensive, or they need to go to a lab, and it's over $200 to do analysis of running gait, and some centers cost over $200, and we provide this just with a subscription model.
All right. Are there more questions from the judges?
Yeah. So Hi, Dennis. Yeah,
Hello.
I'm with Zamir. I'm with Zamir. I don't quite understand the use case, because if I'm thinking about Apple Health and Apple Health Plus, like the subscription that they offer, then I think about ClassPass. People are working with these particular coaches, and they're inside of the ecosystem already. And then you mentioned your technology. One, the behavior. I start there. Does someone actually want to pull out their camera and allow your technology to take the real estate of their workout time? Because typically the behavior when they pull out their camera, they're showing is more social. They want people on Snapchat or Instagram to see the progress, opposed to them measuring their actual progress with a particular technology. Which brings me to my distribution point. It probably would be ideal for you to hold off on the app itself. Perhaps the app could be an upsell where you have a subscription service for them to dive a bit deeper on the metrics. And maybe you can utilize the Snapchat minis. So Snapchat minis, there are miniature versions of apps that lives inside of Snapchat. You can make your technology social, where you're tapping into the distribution of Snapchat. You're tapping into the current behavior of people saying, hey, I like to show off my progress to the rest of the world. And you're sneaking your technology on them. So maybe you make a lens where your particular lens inside of Snapchat is the lens that shows metrics from your technology. And then people can repost that video on their Instagram. Then thereby they can learn about your brand and dive a bit deeper on possibly you upselling them to pay for your app. Because then at that point, maybe you can even charge for your particular app. But outside of that type of strategy, I don't know that even if you have really great technology, that people will actually think that they need this, which means you're going to have to spend a lot of capital to get the mind share. You have market share and mind share. And that's not something that investors are necessarily interested in, especially starting out at the very infant stages with a startup. But I can see this working in that type of capacity whereby you utilize the distribution mechanisms that already exist, turn your technology into a cool social mechanism, then you can get a network effect going, then upsell them to what you're actually charging for. So perhaps that's some good advice for you.
Yeah. So one other thing I didn't mention is there is other use cases. So for example, in running stores, there are already
we gotta move on to let other startups to pitch. But thank you so much for your pitch. And this is what I love about this event, because you get really extensive, like targeted feedback. And so I really appreciate always investors for giving feedback to founders. So let's move on. And the next one is Queen Pham. Queen, are you ready?
Hello.
Can
you hear me okay?
Yes. Hello.
Yeah, so hi, my name is Quinn. I'm the founder and CEO of Tour Mega. We are made a search engine for tours and activities worldwide, featuring over 300,000 activities in 5,000 cities in 190 countries. So we are B2C and B2B2C, but we are mostly B2B2C focused now. So basically, we aggregate tours from all the different marketplaces worldwide, like TripAdvisor, Get Your Guide, and all, and put everything in one place for you to search for tours and activities for your trip. On top of that, we built a global distribution system where you can, where we can partner with hotels, airlines, vacation rentals, or anyone that work with tourists directly. So yeah, we have 150, 200K in revenue so far, but that was only B2C, and I was bootstrapping for a long time. Obviously, travel was affected by COVID. So we built a very strong technology platform during COVID to work with partners like this and become the global distribution system. And we're looking to raise 2 million to scale our partnerships. We secure like a few luxury hotels, and also these two big partners. One is eRoam. They work with 450,000 travel agents, and another one is Intelity. They are an in-room tablet providers for hotels. They're the largest one. So these companies should bring us between 2 and 5 million in revenues per year, once they finish integration with us. Yeah, so looking to raise to scale with the business. That's it. That's my pitch.
Thank you so much. Other questions for this startup founder?
Can I just state, Danil, when you founders and perhaps even myself, I have to do a better job at really communicating this to you guys. When you speak about the capital that you're raising, it's worth explaining the valuation, because that's indicative if you can actually warrant the investment that you're asking for. I asked the gentleman earlier that 20% of 100 million, and then he said we double the money. No, we don't. we get the $20 million back. So it's a break-even investment. So he actually didn't answer the question correctly. And I want you all to really think about that, because when you're asking for an investment, you're asking for us to place the valuation on a company today that may or may not be materialized for a few years. And we have to believe that you can execute against that valuation that we're placing on the company. But besides that, can you explain a little bit to me where you fit inside of the ecosystem? If I have TripAdvisor and I'm booking through TripAdvisor my hotel, and then I want to come in Los Angeles and go to Hollywood Boulevard. They have a lot of services that do that here. Are you a two-sided marketplace where I can find the individuals inside of your app and book them to take me to Hollywood and see the mansions in Los Angeles? Or how does it work? Give me the customer journey of your platform.
Okay, yeah, good question. So we get this a lot from people trying to understand the differentiation between us and TripAdvisor. So TripAdvisor is just one of our suppliers. We have Get Your Guide and Head Our Amusement. So TripAdvisor is just a subset of our inventory. We're a search engine, they're a marketplace. So that's one difference between them and us. Second is they do not work exclusively with hotels, and also we have like deep integration partnership platform with hotels where they can integrate with us via like a QR code, API integration, a JavaScript widget. And so you can just like book a tour and add it to your room, like a room service, you know, this. So the drawback of those big companies, they only a marketplace. So they C2C, mostly B2C or C2C, right? We are B2B2C or B2C, if that makes sense. Regarding our valuation, we opening a $2 million round at the Safe Note at 10 million cap. And the two partners that we secure alone should give us between like 2 and 5 million in revenue once they complete integration with us between Q2 and Q3. So like these companies, they work with us because we have this partnership framework, right? This guy is Intelity is an in-room tablet providers for a hotel. So when you browse a tablet on the hotel, you can book an activity with us, if that makes sense, as a guest. So that's the customer journey.
All right. Yeah, but so is it scalable? Let's assume that you get every hotel in Vegas to put this inside of their apps. MGM, you land a big partner like MGM.
Yeah. So
and they put
sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah,
no, by all means. Yeah. So
I want to let you finish. Yeah. So yeah, of course, we have a background. I have my first startup is building a search engine where it's scalable. I profited over 1 million on that startup just by myself. So it's not easy actually to build a search engine and aggregator, and nobody has really done this for activities. We're the first one. So the system itself is a search engine is already scalable, and we're in 190 countries and 5,000 cities worldwide. So the partner that we already secured a deal with, the two partners, right? They in thousands.
Yeah. Time. Relax. So what the reason why no, you're fine. The reason why Jordan was telling you to let me finish, because my question was that wasn't the answer to my question. When I say is it scalable, you get every hotel in Vegas, you get every hotel in Los Angeles to implement your widget, if you will, your API widget into their app. What is the technology itself that's so captivating that's going to have Airbnb say, hey, we need to connect you with our engineering team so that we can add your API into our code base, because we just have to have your technology? I didn't really quite get that. And preferably you could be quick in answering this, because I'm sure that Danil wants to get one more person in. I don't understand, what's your value proposition? Why are they going to add your technology into their ecosystem? And how is that going to benefit them from a price point perspective?
Yeah, so like I said, the interim tablet hotel that we work, they already in 15,000 hotel worldwide. So it's already happening. We already have a customer that in 15,000 hotel worldwide. So the unique is we did all the hard work, and you just have to do a JavaScript widget integration, or if you want like an extensive integration, we have an API solution. It's almost like a white label solution where you have full access of our data. Does that make sense?
Quick, if I may, I think his question is spot on. You may want to take it to the green room, so to speak, but it's not about the technology. It's about the aptitude of the businesses and the consumers to get on your app. And I'm going to leave it to that. And
Yeah.
you don't have to keep it to that. You don't have to.
You're not satisfied with the answer. I know I'm running out of time. Okay. I
know. Where's the hook?
Hotels.
I gotta time out here, guys.
Easy way to sell tours and activities right now. You go to the hotel, you're going to see all the flyers.
Thank you so much for your answer. I will connect you with the Sharks. Any of the Sharks, would you like to connect with this founder? Yes or no? Please let me know now privately if you like, and I will connect. Okay, and once I hear from the Sharks, I will let you know and I will connect you. Thank you so much for your presentation. I really appreciate that. And
we all love the passion. This is great. This is wonderful to see. True. Well, don't let anybody let you change your passion about this. Please continue.
I love this.
I agree.
We already have customers. If you're interested in,
we gotta move on. Sorry, we gotta move on. And sorry for the Zoom technical errors. Sometimes they're not working perfectly. So the final startup of the day would be Arizo. Zara, Arizo, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
No pressure on you whatsoever. Yes. You're the last one. Make it count, but there's no pressure whatsoever.
Absolutely. Save the best for last. Hi, everyone. My name is Arizo Zarafshan. I am the CEO and founder of Call Emmy. Call Emmy is a double-sided marketplace that connects time-starved and busy moms and dads and just families to local, safe, vetted household providers. We've been around since 2021. Last year, we finished the year at $320,000 of revenue. We had over 2,000 bookings. And what makes us different from the likes of Care.coms and Sitter City, et cetera, is the safety and our background check, the robustness of our background check process, where our service providers, and we call them ferries, our ferries are absolutely safe. And we've never had a single safety incident for all of the bookings that we've had. And the second thing that makes us different is we are on demand, meaning you go into the app, we have a mobile app, you go into the app, and you say, I need a babysitter in 3 hours, and the babysitter shows up in 3 hours, or I need a cleaner in 2 days, and that's what happens. We are raising $500,000, and that will get us till the end of the year for us to raise another round. The $500K will help us to add an additional revenue stream on the B2B side. We are partnering with employers to get them to subsidize the cost of care for their employees. And we need this money to set that up. And I'm done with my pitch. I will take your questions.
Thank you so much. Guys, do you have any questions for the panel?
Yeah, I do. So good short pitch, by the way. Congratulations on the revenue traction. Now, in your type of business where people are hiring babysitters and maids and house cleaners, whatever, to come in and help them, a big problem they faced is leakage, because when they find a babysitter they like, when they find a house cleaner they like, they tend to circumvent the app and just hire the person. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, so we just obviously we continue to work on that. That has not been a big issue for us. And let me explain to you why. We offer more than one service. And for that reason, and I built this business because of what I needed as a busy mom. We need all of it. We need a babysitter, we need a cleaner, we need somebody to come do our laundry, and we need somebody to walk our dog. And when we have a one-stop shop and a place that we trust, we stick with a place that we trust. to manage 4 or 5 different service providers is too much of a headache. And so for that reason, we don't see disintermediation as much as other apps like Sitter City or Urban Sitter or other apps do. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you.
I would be interested to test the tech because, you know, I've been having problems finding people in Bay Area to you know to align with the standards that my wife has. So I'll be happy to test it out. And we already talked on LinkedIn with you. You did send me some information. So this is interesting. Looking forward to, you know, to your growth and potentially, you know, maybe coming in as investors later on.
Fantastic. So we will connect you, and this is not much happening here. Potential customer and investor. Thank you.
So my investor partner at M&D Ventures, the M is for Maya, is my wife. She's actually in the chat today. We're definitely going to be a customer as well. We have a 10-month-old. We have 7 kids, but we haven't had a child in 9 years. And so this 7-month-old is like kicking our the 10-month-old is kicking our butt. So we'd definitely be a customer. But what I'm interested in you further elucidating on, this sounds like, is it a hybrid between TaskRabbit and Thumbtack? In addition to that, perhaps you can answer this question as well. How do you scale this thing? How do you get it to $1 billion in GMV, $100 million ARR? Like, how do you really scale this thing out? And where do you sit as far as TaskRabbit and Thumbtack? Because I didn't quite get where you sit inside of that type of ecosystem.
Okay. So I've done research on all of these platforms. I've been a customer and a service provider on all of them. Let's just talk about the Thumbtack. As a customer, you go in and you say, I need a cleaner to come clean my house. Then you get bombarded by texts and emails from dozens of service providers. Then you do not know how much of a background check these people have gone through. So they may have had the minimal, they may have had none. Am I going out of...
Okay. Love you all. I'll talk to you later. Good. If they do any service, get some pictures, blackmail them to give you better terms when they invest in you. That's all I have to say.
See you later, Jordan.
The last thing is that you're a father of a 7-month-old, and I'm sure your wife, if she's on this chat, hi, I know she will agree with this. She does not have the time to read one profile versus another, compare these things, negotiate the price, schedule them. Maybe they will show up. If they show up, great. If they don't show up, she's back to square one. With us, and I hate to use an analogy, but I will use it. With us, it's as simple as Uber. I need a babysitter. I know your background check process is robust. I know that if they don't show up, Call Emmy is back there and they'll send me someone else. I need a babysitter in 3 hours, damn it. Send me a babysitter. That's how we're different than TaskRabbits and Thumbtacks and Care.com. We're built based on 2 things that families care the most. A, saving time. B, safety. And those are the 2 things that we offer.
So I have a suggestion. One, I'm interested in this. So Danil, you can connect us for sure. I'm highly interested in this, actually. So my numbers were, I have 7 children. My daughter, she's 10 months. So that was just a mix with the number 7. Now I have a suggestion as far as the chicken and egg thing, because that was a really beautiful question to ask. You're going to have to gamify the application. And I do believe that you should bring video forward, because what you're selling is safety. You're selling safety and you're selling insurance. We can ensure that you are going to get the best representation of a babysitter opposed to going to TaskRabbit or Thumbtack, because they're so scaled out. We are focusing on a very specific niche inside of this 2-sided marketplace. Now, as far as the gamification, what you can do is have streaks. So if I actually go with someone and watch their child, granted, they may say, hey, you make $200 for doing this per hour, but the platform takes a commission fee. I'll just give you $200 cash, and now your marketplace is offset because they're trying to extrapolate me out of the marketplace. But what you can do is say, hey, every 30 days, we give you all bonuses, but you have to, if you will, take a video at the location every time you actually get booked. If you go If you every time you get booked, you have to take a video at the location. If you don't upload the video, you're not going to qualify for your end of month bonus for actually being inside the marketplace. And then you could do bonuses on both sides of the spectrum. So you could do it for the people that's offering the service and for the people that's acquiring it. Oh, it looks as if you are doing great with bookings. We will love to, you're almost at your 30-day mark of receiving your surprise bonus. And then you can add a little FOMO in there where you don't actually tell them what the bonus is going to be because it's different. Perhaps you can get a virtual currency. You can do virtual gifts as well. And what you're doing is you're not placing that on the forefront that you're attempting to protect your marketplace. It's on the back end and it's fun as well. Now, as far as the video is concerned, I can anticipate going through a process where my wife will definitely want to get on video with someone. She's very analytical. She's very specific. Our daughter is a very, she's learning 7 languages at the moment. So she's not going to trust an app, no matter how sophisticated you guys are. They can read tomorrow that KKR gave you guys $4 billion. She wouldn't care. She still wants to actually talk to the person on video. And if you can utilize that as a value proposition for your platform, like, hey, we ensure that you get to see the person and talk to the person X amount of times before they even come, in addition to the fact that we fully vetted them. I don't want you to continue with saying that your vetting process is your value proposition, because that's not strong enough, because Thumbtack can then turn that doorknob and say, hey, we're going to do better vetting now. Introducing Thumbtack Trust. Thumbtack Trust now, they put $100 million into the Thumbtack Trust platform, and now they're competing against your whole company as a feature. So your value proposition is going to be the fact that you built a connection pipeline through your technology. Maybe it's the app where we can connect with people how we would over FaceTime. The other thing is you gamified it. So you get points for doing the thing that you love. So on top of making money for that particular booking, at the end of 30 days, you're going to have this surprise bonus because you're great for the actual community. So perhaps that's some good advice for your platform. But I am interested in talking to you offline, my wife and I.
Love it. I absolutely love it. And yeah, let's talk. Let's talk. One last thing that I forgot to mention, and just credibility, is that we were in one of the top 25 startups that were invited into AWS Accelerator, and we just finished that. So just
congratulations, and we will connect.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Connect you guys after the call. Thank you so much. Great pitch, great product, and seems like you are like really killing it. You got 2 sharks in, and both want to be your customers as well. That's just the best, I guess. Thank you so much. And we are closing this session. We will let the Sharks to close this with final words of wisdom and feedback. But before that, just can you imagine, we had 11 matches with these Sharks today, just within 2 hours. Amazing. I'm so grateful for the Sharks, our investors, and for the startups. Thank you for respecting time. Thank you for bringing great solutions and meeting our criteria. We really, really appreciate that. So I want everyone to share the feedback with us. You'll get an email after the event. Already got. And please, everyone, join in our matching app. That's a new app we're building for the world, and you are the ones that should be there. And please, this is the link. Go register after the event. So, dear Sharks, your final words of wisdom, and let's start one by one with from Zamir.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, Daniel, and Go Global, for organizing this. As usual, I love the dynamics. Within 2 hours, we hear 30 pitches. This is great. One suggestion to the founders that we see here, because there's no presentation, try to put a background behind yourself with, at least if you have a physical object. It's very hard to visualize what you're trying to do. Like, is it a gadget? Is it a wearable? Is it a turbine that extracts something from air? Just put a little picture behind you so you can reference to that picture, saying, hey, this is what it looks like. That's what we're creating right now. Because there were a few amazing things that were described with words, houses out of the containers, etc. But it would be so awesome to see it. And again, there are a few startups that we would really like to continue the dialogue with. I think what Daniel and his team are creating here is a really good momentum. And with every next event, I think the quality of the pitches and the startups increase. I'm glad to see that, and I'm glad to see new faces in the table next to us. So, thank you.
Thank you, Zamir. Appreciate that. Very nice words. We're so grateful for that. Steve, please, your turn.
Sure. So my advice to the startup founders out there is that when you pitch, 2 minutes isn't much time, and you've got to keep it within 2 minutes. Just focus on 3 things. What do you do? Explain that as clearly and concisely as possible. Why are you unique? Why are you unique compared to all the competitors? And then number 3, do you have traction? Do you have any proof that what you're doing is actually relevant to the customer? If you do those 3 things well, that's a very good start.
Fantastic feedback. Thank you so much, Steve. And by the way, Steve has 3 books that he wrote about venture capital and fundraising. You should check it out. Google him, you'll get his books. Just do the number 1 for me. And on our YouTube channel, Steve gave a great advice about how to fundraise. So go check it out on Go Global World YouTube. And of course, don't forget to press the like button, subscribe. Don't ever forget about that and share with your network. Duránd, your turn.
Thanks again, Danil, to you and the GGW Sharks. It's an incredible event. I really like the startups today, although I didn't get to see the first half. I would imagine that they were as good as the second half as well. So it's definitely getting better. I appreciate your execution and consistency, which is why, although I was busy today, I still want to actually be here on a consistent basis because it can only get better from here. Zamir, I'll definitely be in SF in the next few weeks, so I'm going to come and see you, buddy, so we can sit down and catch up. And Mr. Hoffman, nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
I sent you a connection on LinkedIn. My wife is going to send you one as well. We'll love to stay in contact with you. I love your microphone. It sounds great. I'm a sound engineer, so when I hear like certain sounds, it always excites me. Now to the founders, yeah, it sounds beautiful. Now to the founders, the valuation thing, I don't want to kick you guys' butt over the valuation, but just really understand that's directly connected to the potential of you receiving an investment. And also it gets to show us that you have a perspective or philosophy around finance. It takes every bit of 2 hours out of your day, maybe 3 days a week, to really just dive deep on understanding how valuation works. It's a flywheel. If we're running a fund, we raise capital from limited partners. Limited partners give us capital. We take that capital and give it to startups. Startups make money, return the capital to us. We return the capital to the limited partners. So we have to understand exactly how you're thinking about finance, because that's going to be the engine of the business and the entire premise for us being able to invest, because perhaps your valuation doesn't work for a particular VC firm at that particular time, but maybe if they understand exactly how you're thinking about your valuation and your pathway to revenue and preferably profitability, then you can get an investment from them at another stage. So I do want you all to just take finance a bit more serious than you all do now. And again, that's just really giving you some homework. Overall, I really love the last idea. The care idea. I love the idea of how she's approaching the market. So I'm definitely interested in learning more about that. And congratulations to you all. Anyone that can really come in here and pitch really quickly on the fly and take feedback from us, I appreciate that, because you don't have to listen to us. I sit on both ends of the spectrum as a founder and a venture capitalist, so I get it. And I do like the advice, lastly, Zamir gave with the background, because you want to actually give us a story and say, and remember that as passionate as you are about your idea, we're hearing it for the first time. So just really give it to us really quickly. Mr. Hoffman mentioned those 3 things, very important, because even if your idea is not that clear, those 3 things are. So you have traction and revenue. We can take it offline for sure, but place it in a story format. Maybe your value proposition is in you as a person. Maybe you're building a music platform and I say, yeah, I don't quite know how it fits in the ecosystem of Apple Music. But then you tell us like, yeah, my uncle, he wrote records for Michael Jackson. He has 17 Grammys. So we actually know what we're doing. Okay, great. So now I'm interested in talking and learning more about you. So maybe you're the value proposition. So take your time. We're not going anywhere. We'll be here for 2 hours. And pace yourself when you're actually presenting the idea. But I do agree with Mr. Hoffman on those 3 key areas, because that can definitely warrant a further conversation. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, everyone. The next week event, the link right here in the chat. So go there, register, and make sure to be on the event. And of course, please spread the word about us. Invite other founders. We are giving the chance to meet top-tier investors from around the world, from Silicon Valley and from other hubs of the world. And you got the chance to meet these sharks today, and we will bring more and more great people who might be interested to invest in you. Thank you, dear investors, for being today with us. And we look forward to see everyone next week. Take care and goodbye.